I think we're live now.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much. So I'll just do that again. So welcome to this Licensing Subcommittee C meeting on the 24th of September, 7 o'clock. Agenda's in the inside sleeve. So yeah, we're just about to do introductions. So I'm Councillor Smith, Chair of Licensing and also Councillor in Stoke Newington Ward. Councillor Vajana Thomas.
Good evening. I'm Susan Fajana Thomas, the Cabinet Lead for Community Safety and Regulatory Services.
Thank you. Councillor Kennedy.
Councillor Chris Kennedy, Councillor for Hackney Wick Ward, Member of the Licensing Committee.
Thank you very much. And Amanda.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Amanda North from Legal Services, and I'm supporting members this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. And Suba.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Subhashri Ramana, Principal Licensing Officer, and I'll be presenting the reports. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We've heard from Sharmina. Sharmina is our IT person. Thank you, Sharmina, for all you do. And we've heard from Jessica, our Governance Officer. Thank you, Jessica, for all you do. PC Griggs.
Good evening, Chair. PC Amanda Griggs here for the bread and butter for 2 items, not the first Macbeth, the other 2 items on the agenda.
Okay. We'll just go around and introduce everyone. I've got Daniel.
Yes, good evening. I'm Daniel Matovu, Matovu, and I'm representing Bread and Butter.
Daniel, nice to see you, Daniel. Thank you. And then we've got, is it Ben from Bread and Butter?
Yep. Hi, I'm Ben. Yeah, Bread and Butter is my company.
Yeah, thank you very much. And then I can see John on there. There's a John on the screen. Maybe it's somebody else's name. It's a black man with glasses. Not you, Daniel.
Yeah.
I think that should be our Environmental Protection Officer, John Anani.
Okay. John, can you hear us?
I can drop John a message separately just to double check.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'll let you know.
And Mr. Dads?
Yes, good afternoon, Chair. Good evening, Chair, members. I'm David Dadds, and I'm here dealing with the expedited review matter.
Yeah, Mr. Dads, you might want to, if you want to, you can just sign off and come back in 20 minutes or something like that. Or just check in.
Yeah, you've got 2 matters, I believe. So should I come back not before 7:45, so I can go and get a cup of tea or something?
Yeah, try that. See how we go.
All right, and I think Amanda North has my mobile telephone number anyway, and I'll make sure that that's switched on in case anything changes. How's
Brilliant.
that?
That's great. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Excellent. Okay, that's good. And then I've got PC Worrell up there. You're here for the expedited review as well. Are you there? Or maybe you're going to wait until to come in for that.
I am indeed, Chair, yes.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, thank you very much. And then we have...
Yes, Chair, I do have...
We have Jamie.
Tech issues.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, Chair. Yeah, sorry, it's Chris Risque, Solicitor for Stamina Pubs Limited for the Macbeth, and the operator himself, Jamie Allen. Hi, everyone.
Okay, thank you. That's great. Just writing this down. Okay. Jessica, have I missed anyone? Natalie, you're on the call. Can you just tell people why you're here? Can you hear me, Natalie?
I think she might just be sorting something else out.
Yeah, maybe she's gone.
She's joining today just to observe the meeting, so we've got a bit of extra support for today's hearing.
Yeah, and I can see David Chewett has just joined. David, would you like to just introduce yourself quickly, please? We're just doing introduction.
Good evening, Chair. Good evening, everyone. Sorry, I'm David here. I'm team leader licensing and technical support. I've just got some internet connectivity issues that I'm trying to resolve.
Okay. Thank you for that. Excellent. Okay, Jessica, have I got everyone?
I believe
Yeah,
so. I
you can,
can't see anyone on the list. I contacted John. He's not responded yet. I'll try and give him a call as well. But
Okay,
yes.
brilliant. Excellent. That's great. Okay, so I think we've done the introductions. So we can now move on to the agenda. So agenda item 1 is the election of chair, which we've done. Amanda?
Chair, you can ask any parties who are not in the first application if they wanted to come back later, when you're ready.
Yeah. The first application here is today is for the Macbeth. So those that are here for bread and butter, you could maybe come back in, say, 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes, half an hour, just check in and see where we're at with this. That would be good. And then you can have a cup of tea or something. Excellent. Okay, so agenda item 1, election of chair, we've done. Agenda item 2, apologies for absence today. Apologies have been received from Councillor Young, and I'm in attendance as a substitute. Agenda item 3, declarations of interest. Do members have any declarations of interest today?
No, Chair.
No. Councillor Pajama Thomas? No, thank you. Okay, agenda item 4, minutes of the previous meeting. There are no minutes for consideration today. Agenda item 6, licensing subcommittee hearing procedure, which I'll run through very quickly. It works in steps. Step 1, appointment of chair. We've done that. Step 2, the licensing officer will outline the report. These are over 5 minutes each. The applicant will then present their case in support of their application. Then we will have responsible authorities, again, 5 minutes each. And then for this one, any other persons for this, Jessica? In attendance, I mean. Sorry, you're on mute.
Sorry. Yes, for item 6, we do have other persons listed, but I'm not sure if they're attending. I can't see them on our list at the moment.
Okay.
As joining the meeting, but I will let you know if they do join.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Excellent. Okay, that's good. And then step 6 is discussion phase, over 15 minutes. If we can try and keep the times tight, that'd be good. Step 7 is closing remarks. Step 8 is final points of clarification. Then we're done. Okay, is everyone happy to move on? Yep. Excellent. Not seeing any complaints. So, Suba, do you want to outline the report, please? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. So the first item we are going to consider is for a premises license received under Section 17 of the Licensing Act 2003 for the premises The Macbeth, 70 Hoxton Street. The application seeking permission for late night refreshment from 2300 to 23:30 Monday to Wednesday, from 2300 to 30 past midnight on Thursday, and from 2300 to 30 past 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday, and to authorize the supply of alcohol for consumption on and off the premises from 9 to 2300 Monday to Wednesday, 9 to midnight on Thursday, 9 to 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday, and from 9 to 22:30 on Sunday. Representation remains from 2 other persons. We have received additional submissions from the applicant, and all these documents have been circulated, and I have nothing else to add. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Okay. I think we can, happy to move on, members. Yeah, just nod. Brilliant. Okay, we'll just move on then. So just doing, I can get a bit of feedback there. Yeah, we'll move on to the applicant now. And I would like you to address in your submission the 2 license, you've got 2 sets of conditions there. You've got what's on the existing license, and then this is a brand new license. And the question just straight to you, are you willing to surrender the license that you currently have, because the conditions on there are very different to the ones that you're asking for now?
Yes, Chair, we would, obviously, on the satisfactory grant of this new license, yes.
Okay, brilliant. Excellent. Okay, you've got 5 minutes. Go.
Lovely, thank you. So we seek the granting of the premises license as applied for, with the agreed reduction in the opening hours with the licensing authority. So by way of background, the applicant, Stamina Pubs Limited, is Jamie Allen's company. Jamie is an experienced pub operator, having run the Plimsoll on St Thomas Road. He's been in the hospitality industry for 20 years. The DPS, Patrick Noland, is also experienced pub manager with 10 years in the industry. In terms of the application, the hours have already been covered. As has been stated, the premises currently does have the benefit of a premises license. It has longer opening hours than we're applying for, us having now agreed with the licensing authority. The application for this new premises license has been submitted to bring the premises in line with its new style of operation. It changing from a noisy music-led venue to a traditional pub with a food offering. Please see photos of the premises at pages 47 to 49 of a supplementary documents pack. That license will be surrendered on the satisfactory grant. In terms then of liaison with the local community, Jamie reached out to the local residents back on the 19th of August by delivering a letter containing an invitation to meet and 2 dates in order to meet. Please see page 45 of your supplementary pack. As can be seen in Jamie's summary email, they offered 2 dates and only 1 local resident took up the invite. And again, that's page 31 of the supplementary documents. After initial skepticism, the feedback was good, with the resident expressing her support for the premises. The resident also mentioned that she has spoken to other residents in support of the premises. No residents attended the second meeting. Liaison with those that submitted representations also tried to take place. Again, as can be seen in our supporting document, pages 41 to 44, through the council, we reached out to those that submitted their representation, asking if they'd like to meet and indeed introduce the operator. Unfortunately, as confirmed on page 41, again, the supplementary pack, the residents were, one was away and the other said they were too busy. We also liaised with the licensing authority and agreed a reduction in the proposed closing hour by 30 minutes to the times that have just been read out.
Excellent. You do have a bit longer if you want it. I mean,
no, sorry, we just have an issue with the text. Sorry. In terms of conditions, there is comprehensive operating schedule offered with this application, and that's at pages 39 to 40 of your main pack. But as you'd expect, a full CCTV condition, an instant log condition, a refusals log, theft measures, risk assessed requirement for door supervisors, a capacity condition that's reduced from 300 now down to 100. And in terms of public nuisance, all windows and doors to be kept closed after 2200, notices to be on display asking customers to leave quietly, and waste collections to take place between 07 and 2300. In terms of age verification, the challenge 25 policy. In terms of the representations received, they were both identical. 4 main points: failure to notify the tenants. I can confirm that as per the Licensing Act, we did advertise with the blue notice at the premises and did advertise in the local paper. The key issue was an assessment made regarding the likely noise and disruption to local families. Initially, given the premises was changing its style of operation from a loud music led venue with a capacity of 300 to a traditional pub with a capacity of 100, it wasn't felt that this was required. But on receiving these representations, an acoustic expert was instructed, a noise report was done. And if I could turn you to page 37 of your supplementary papers, that does indeed confirm that it's well within all limits. So I've lost the page to open that up.
Yeah, the summary and conclusion you're talking about, yeah?
Yes, it is 4.03, I think it is.
Yeah, 4.3, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Then on their point 3, is there a way to appeal? Yes, there's the grounds of review. And then in terms of future transparency, as stated, it was advertised as it should have been. Chair, as you'll be aware, is set out in the section 182 guidance, paragraph 912. Each responsible authority will be an expert in their field. The police for crime and disorder, environmental health for nuisance. As you're aware, there are no responsible authorities submitting a representation. Assigned, we say they are happy and content that Salmon Pubs will promote the licensing objectives. There is, as discussed, the powers of review, should they be required for local residents and indeed responsible authorities. Again, we say, Chair, this will not be necessary. Chair, those are my submissions. Currently, I do have a brief summary, but I understand you're very busy this evening.
Yep, thank you very much, Daniel, for that. I would say you didn't talk about the outside space, because that's one area of concern, and you might want to just number of smokers, what you use it for, how many people are likely to be out there, and all that kind of stuff.
So yes, there is a small outside space for consumption of alcohol only. It's used, I believe, till 11 o'clock, and then after that for smoking only, Chair.
Okay, and do you have a limit on the smokers at all? There's no condition on smokers in there, is there?
No, there isn't, Chair. No, there hasn't been an issue previously, so no, there isn't one.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that we might want to consider, but we'll maybe think about that later. Okay, thank you for that. Any points of clarity there at all? No? Okay, I think we can move straight into the discussion phase, providing Jessica, I can see your hand, Councillor Fajana Thomas, providing Jessica, those other persons are not here for this one. Is that correct? They still haven't appeared? Yes,
they still haven't appeared. I haven't had anyone new apart from
Okay, brilliant.
If you just join back in, so yeah.
Yeah, because obviously we don't have any responsible authorities because licensing withdrew because we reduced the winding down period by 30 minutes. Councillor Vajana Thomas?
Oh, just two clarification. The first one is on the timing. I know there was a bit of change to a reduced hour. Can you confirm exactly what the hours you were asking for? And in terms of the capacity from the 300 previously on this current license to 100, what has changed? Was that based on risk assessment or because the layout of the premises is changing and can only or accommodate up to 100?
Thank you, Chair. So dealing with the first point, the sale of alcohol hours are exactly the same as they were on the current license. Indeed, late night refreshment is also the same, but what has happened is the closing hours have reduced. As you quite rightly picked out, there was an hour-long old school drinking up period that has now been reduced. So the closing hours are now Monday to Wednesday 23:30, on Thursday 00:30, on Friday and Saturday 01:30. So yeah, 01:30 and 2300. So an extra half an hour on top of when the alcohol sale finishes. Then in terms of that layout question, yes, as it was a music-led venue, obviously people were packed in and stood and were in there listening to the music. This obviously now is a traditional pub style as per the photos, and that 100 capacity is obviously linked to the risk assessment. I believe that's correct, isn't it? Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. Amanda?
Sorry, Chair, can I make the clarification on the use of the external space? I know you mentioned earlier that the external space will be closed at 11 p.m. That is for either alcohol or refreshment. Is that correct?
Yes. So consumption. Sorry.
Please, thank you.
Sorry. Yes. Obviously, there's off sales on the premises license. Consumption of alcohol is not a licensable activity, but there is that small area outside that people will drink in. Yes, at 11 o'clock, that area will be closed and will be for smokers only after that period until the premises shuts.
Yeah. What condition is that?
There hasn't been a condition off on that, Chair, but more than happy to offer a condition.
You'd be happy to do that, yeah?
And Chair,
I had a rough draft for an outside area, so patrons should not use the external area other than for smoking after 2300 hours.
Brilliant.
If that works.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Chair, my question is not quite answered. So the place will be closed at 11 for alcohol and refreshment. Can you confirm that? But people can still use that area for smoking until when the premises is closing, in particular over the weekend, that will run up to 1 a.m. Is that what you are saying?
Sorry, yes, Councillor. So every night the outside, that small outside area at the front of the premises will shut as per the condition. Patrons should not use the external area other than for smoking after 2300 hours. So there'll be no drinking or consumption outside after 2300. Anybody out there after will purely just be smokers for those other days where it operates after 2300 inside.
Thanks, Chair. In that case, if we're mindful to grant this application, should we be looking for a condition around that? Because most majority of issues that residents have with premises are not really inside. It's usually the outside, the external areas.
Yeah. And I think they've said they would do that. That's great. And then on the numbers of smokers, that's the other one we want to sort of drill down on that a little bit. Daniel, what do you think's reasonable?
I don't know how many smokers after 11 o'clock. What would you limit it to?
At any one time, obviously, you know.
16? I don't know. Sorry, yeah.
I mean, it seems quite a relatively small space.
Yeah, 10 I'd have thought maximum smokers outside.
Okay, that sounds good. Excellent. Councillor Kennedy, you had your hand up.
Thank you. Yes, I was going to ask for a number for the smokers as well. And I do think, Chair, we should note, even though they're not here, that we have noted that there were 2 representations from residents. But I am satisfied with what I've heard from the applicants, that they've addressed those 4 points that were raised by those residents. But we should just note that for the minutes. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Councillor Kennedy. Great. Councillor Janet Thomas.
Just want to come in case when the residents are not here, but when this session is played back, would it be useful for Suba to confirm one of the questions they've raised is letters were not sent to residents about this? So would that, Suba, will you want to clarify the rules, law around sending letters, or Amanda, to residents with licensing application?
Yes, Chair. Just to clarify, it's only planning applications are consulted with the residents, and it will be posted to all the residents living around the premises. But under the Licensing Act, it's a requirement to place a site notice outside the premises for 28 days and to place a newspaper advert within the 10 working days, as well as the information is being published on the Hackney under the licensing website as well.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, that was a good question, Councillor Janet Thomas. Okay, I mean, Amanda?
Originally, I raised my hand to ask the governance officer to check that there hasn't been any contact from them, because obviously she's looking just within the meeting, and so then for the record it's noted that they were unable to attend, and we can proceed on to the next section.
Yeah, no, I just asked Jessica a second ago. Suba?
Sorry, Chair. Sorry if I didn't mention it earlier. I think we got the confirmation from both the residents that they will not be able to attend this hearing.
Okay, excellent. But I think Councillor Kennedy has we've read their submissions, as he said, and he feels that we've addressed their concerns, and Councillor Janet Thomas has also addressed the one about the consultation. So that's good. I think we're done on the discussion, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was I suppose, clarification, if we've got time, just to sound out a condition for that outside area. So something along the lines of after 2300 hours, patrons shall not use the external area for anything other than smoking. After 2300 hours, smokers will be limited to a maximum of 10 smokers.
Yeah, perfect. Can you email that to Amanda?
I don't know if I've got
to Jessica, one of the governance officers.
Send it to Jessica.
I've made a note of it. I've made a note. Thank you.
You got it. Councillor Janet Thomas?
It was just to make sure, obviously. Oh, sorry. Apologies.
No, it's going back to this external area. So what is the capacity if people are sitting in that area before the 11?
There's no sitting area.
No, there's no seating outside. It's just
So
people coming.
So if people were outside there in the before 1100, would be people smoking or people just hanging around. Can we get down to what exactly is that external area? What do you intend to do with the external area outside of smoking? Because what you just read out seems there is another activities in that area before or 11 p.m.
So yes, Councillor, it'll be used for the consumption of alcohol prior to that time, the outside area. So it's just a small outside area that many,
people will be standing outside there.
Yes.
So there's no chairs and tables there at the moment.
No.
So
I think, Councillor, that's indicated on the plan as such that it's a standing outside area.
Yeah. Is that public? It's a public pavement, isn't it?
Yes, but we need a license for that element of it, don't we?
I've got it set up with the
So I've got a stiff neck, that's why I'm
I've spoke to Omar, who looks after the streets, and he's granted me permission to have people standing out there. There's enough space, basically.
Amanda, can I bring you in at this point? If that is a public highway, or that would be, I don't know who Omar is. If you are talking of Omar from markets team, I don't
can
think
imagine it'd be a pavement license if it's, yes, it's pavement license.
he won't have authority to ask to say you can have people standing there unless you have already got a license, and us including that with this license without that would be something that would be difficult to do. Amanda, what do you think?
Yeah, they would need to approach the markets team to obtain a pavement license separately. That's not something within the remit of the licensing team. So we would just make a note for them to remind them to do that. So
that's understood, Councillor Chair.
What I want to get out, Amanda, is without that license, can they use that outside space?
If it's private land, they can, but if it's not private land and it's public highway, then they can't, unless they've got the pavement license.
So we won't be able to include at this point. We won't be able to include that space. With
the two separate issues.
To grant this.
Yes, it's a separate.
It's a separate issue. I know that. What I'm saying is, if we are mindful to grant this license, we won't be able to do anything about that pavement because as of now you haven't got.
Yes, I understand what you're saying, that they won't be able to go out there drinking or smoking unless the license is in place. Yeah, that's correct.
Yes, yeah, Jamie understands that. Until he's got his pavement license in place, he can't have people out on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is I mean, it's commonly called a table and chairs license for pavements.
Yeah.
I don't know, Amanda, can you get a license for like standing as well, or?
They'd have to take advice from the markets team as to what's permitted, because they will have concerns about people obstructing the highway as well. So it is something.
And that liaison has taken place there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone content? Got all the information we need?
Not really. I haven't. What I'm saying is, if we're mindful to grant this application, while the chairs and tables license regime is different from the premises regime, we won't be able to include the use of external area if we're it's either we're adding a condition to this, or we won't be able to add external area if the external area is a public highway.
So sorry, there's a slight confusion. Obviously, this is a premises license application. If granted and we get the off sales, it's marked on the plan, we'll be able to utilize that area under the premises license. However, we can't do it legally until we have the pavement license in place. And obviously the council can enforce against Jamie were he to have anybody outside at that time under the pavement license legislation. Amanda, you'll obviously confirm this.
Basically, we can have the condition in place to not use the outside area after 2200 hours, except for smokers, but that will not come into effect until they got their pavement license in place. So they know that they can't use it, but it's just having that condition there for as and when they have that permission. Thank you.
Amanda, just with the wording, can you just make sure that it reads that we can use the outside area for consumption prior to, and that it's only after 2300 in relation to the smokers, please?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, super.
Sorry, so it's just to clarify. They have applied for on and off sales, so the premises is allowed for people to buy alcohol and consume outside because it's on and off sales. So that's why I just want to clarify in regards to that.
Yeah. Okay. I think we can move to closing remarks now. We've got all the information we need. Okay, closing remarks. Daniel, over to you.
Thank you, Chair. Sorry, my name's Chris, but it doesn't matter. No, Chair, don't worry. So this application is seeking to regularise the new style of operation at the premises, it now being a pub rather than large, loud music venue. The closing hours have been reduced from those on the previous premises licence, and that previous premises license will be surrendered upon a satisfactory grant. The operator is experienced in running pubs and indeed has reached out to local residents to work with them. There is a comprehensive operating schedule, and indeed a further condition has just been agreed with you. Most importantly, we say there is no outstanding representation from any of the responsible authorities, and in particular in relation to environmental health and public nuisance. They don't see that this premises will be an issue at all. All elements of the representations have been covered off. Should there be issues, we say there will be none. There are the powers of review. And it's on this basis, Chair, we would ask that the application please be granted with the reduced opening hours. Thank you.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. Final point of clarification, members, at all? No? All good. Okay, I think we're done for this one. Thank you very much. You'll get a skeleton decision within 5 working days.
Is that us? Are we free to go, Chair?
Yeah, absolutely.
Lovely. Thank you all very much.
Name, Chris.
No problem, Chair. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers. All the best. Okay. Everyone happy to move on? Let's see if we can get the others for this agenda item on the call. So you need to turn your cameras on. This is agenda item 7 for bread and butter. So anybody here for bread and butter? Yeah. Okay.
Hello.
Excellent. Okay, so we'll move on to bread and butter. So if I could ask Suba, please, to outline this one. Thank you.
Do we have Daniel, sorry, just before you go?
Sorry?
Do we have our lawyer, Daniel? Here he is.
Yes, I'm here.
There you go.
Yeah. Brilliant. Jessica, we got everyone we need.
Hi, Councillor. I'm just double checking on the list. I believe we may be. No, that's fine. No, we've got everyone.
Perfect. Excellent. Okay, Suba, over to you.
Thank you, Chair. So the second item we are going to consider is for the variation of the premises license received under the Section 34 of the Licensing Act 2003 for the premises Bread and Butter, 72 Rivington Street. The premises seeking extension of live music, recorded music, and supply of alcohol for the consumption on and off the premises until 1 a.m. on Wednesdays and Thursdays, till 3 a.m. on Friday and Saturday, and till 2300 on Sunday, as stated within the report. Representation remains from Environmental Protection, Police, Licensing, and one other person. We have received additional submission from the applicant, and all those documents have been circulated, and I have nothing else to add. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, thank you very much, Suba, for that. Okay, so we have the applicant Benjamin Whittle and the barrister Daniel Matavu. Are you both going to speak, or is it just you, Daniel?
It's just me at this stage. Obviously, Mr. Whittle might be able to answer detailed questions that may be asked to clarify anything.
Okay, great. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Daniel. Off you go.
As you've heard, this is an application to vary the premises license by extending the core hours, matching those that are currently in place for the neighbouring bar nightclub. However, this is more than just another late night drinking outlet, similar to the neighbouring bar. You'll have seen from the additional representations made by the applicant, Mr. Whittle, which hopefully you've had a chance to see.
Yeah.
They're at pages 71 to 82. That there's a section in there dealing with the reaching out to the community to evidence what a positive benefit this is to the local community. And I just highlight one comment briefly from a lady called Cassian, who's at page 73 in the bundle. She, at the bottom of that page, she describes Bread and Butter as more than just a venue. It's a vital community hub that supports artists and provides a safe space for creative expressions. So there are, I won't go obviously through the detail which you have got in Mr. Whittle's statement, but it is something that provides a lot of positive benefits to the local community, and is a venue that helps to support the creative scene across music, fashion, and arts. That said, I appreciate that if I can just address the licensing objectives, particularly the four that on which representations can be grounded: prevention of public nuisance, prevention of crime and disorder, protection of children from harm, and public safety. Just going through those quickly, I don't believe there's any issue that has been raised in relation to public safety or protection of children from harm in this case. The premises are restricted to children after 6 p.m. So those areas should not be an issue at all. As far as crime and disorder is concerned, I believe that there's no real issue with this premises in relation to crime and disorder. And I would suggest that you should discount the representations made by a resident business owner regarding antisocial behavior. And he mentions damage to shop fronts and urination in doorways. Well, there's absolutely no evidence in this case that any of the patrons of Bread and Butter are responsible for any of that behavior. And he ends his objection by saying that the location lends itself to increasing crime. Well, again, that's just a stereotypical assumption, but it doesn't apply to Bread and Butter. Mr. Whittle has spoken with PC Griggs, and I believe that it has been agreed by the police and the council staff that there is no issue or nothing. Bread and Butter have not in any way been involved in any crime and disorder in the area.
1 minute.
Oh, sorry. So the real issue is the public nuisance aspect and the sound. And you'll have got the report from the independent report from Mr. Packman, where he suggests that there should be sound limiting devices. Well, those have now been installed. They weren't installed before, so that's probably what gave rise to some incidents which have been referred to. But that has now been installed at the property in accordance with the council approval. And it has also been set within the limits that Mr. Packman sets out in his report. So I believe that the sound aspect has now been rectified, and that external windows and doors, which have also been an issue on a previous occasion, are now to be kept closed, so that at any time when the sound gets above the background music. And you'll see in the dispersal policy that's attached to Mr. Whittle's statement, and the security will be in place for as soon as the patrons reach a number of 50. So I believe that Mr. Whittle has addressed all the objections that are set out in the representations.
That's great. Thank you very much, Daniel, for that. Any point of clarification at this stage, members, before we move on? Councillor Kennedy?
Yes. Do you have the exact date for the installation of those? And has the council's noise team been and approved the installation?
I know that it's been installed very recently, like last week, but perhaps Mr. Whittle can address whether anyone from the council has actually inspected?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we installed last week off the back of John and Nani, who's on the call. His recommendation that the sound limiter that we had before wasn't council approved. So we put that in last week. That's like all connected to the mains, and it will knock off the system as soon as it stays in the red and fully knocks it off from the power. We haven't had another visit as of yet. But obviously John or whoever it is welcome whenever.
Can I come in, please?
Yeah, John, I was going to bring you in anyway.
We have not been able to. They have not informed us that they've installed the noise limiter at all. This is the first time we're hearing about it.
Okay, John, you have your submission now. If you want to continue, you've got 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'll make it very short. The main thing is the noise limiter, because if they have set the noise limiter up so the levels are agreed with ourselves that it will not impact on the public, we wouldn't have made any representations at all.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, so you're just concerned about the noise limiter.
Yes, please.
So
Daniel,
can you just address John's point about the fact he's not actually seen this?
Sorry, you're addressing that to me?
Yeah.
Well, it's unfortunate that he hasn't had a chance to see it. But as Miss Whittle was trying to explain, there was a sound limiter there before. Unfortunately, it wasn't one that was connected to the mains, whereas this new one, which is in accordance with the council approved, is directly connected to the mains. So if the noise reaches the level, it just shuts off the whole mains completely, and that wasn't in place before. So that should hopefully address Mr. Anani's concern.
Yeah. Did you hear that, John? Is that satisfactory for you, or?
Yeah, that will be fine. So far as we can go there, the witnesses before they can give any approval for any variation of the license, please.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. Amanda?
Chair, I don't know if we get clarification from the Environmental Protection Officer. Apart from the noise limiter, does he have any other concerns still about noise and the premises?
Aside from the complaint we've heard at our disposal, we've not been able to substantiate or to witness any nuisance to date. But my idea of the noise limiter, that if the noise limiter were to be set, the noise wouldn't have impacted on the local residents for them to be able to complain.
Yeah. I mean, I would say about a noise limiter that you can't put a noise limiter on a drum kit. So if you're planning to have drum kits in there, then that's tricky. You would need to use an electronic drum kit, ideally, if you were going to sort of limit the sound, because then it goes through the desk. Just making that point, which is tricky because you might want to have live bands and stuff. But Councillor Jana Thomas put her hand up.
That there is just a point of clarity to John. Again, I know Mr. Mateovu was saying John hasn't had a chance to look at this noise limiter. It's not for John to have a look, it's for the premises to inform John that they have the council that they have installed a limiter for them to inspect. And on that basis, I'm asking when again, whatever we do tonight, as John said, he hasn't seen this limiter, whether it's an approved noise limiter that is different from the previous one. What is the implication of that? Can I bring whatever we're doing tonight, if we're mindful to approve this application, would that be we'll be acting on the trust that this limiter has been put in? Or Amanda, do you want to comment on that, or John want to comment?
I did go to there to speak to them about the noise limiter. They said they never had one in place in the first place. Aside from that, they only use a mobile DJ system to go there and then take it to another. They're moving the DJ system, sound system from one place to the other. And therefore, there's no system in place whereby they can have a sound limiting device in place for them to be able to do that. Therefore, they have to actually put the sound system in place and the noise limiting device in place for us to go and set it up properly for them to be able to use the premises, please.
Yeah, can I come in
Chair,
on that?
just to confirm, Chair. So
yeah, Amanda, do you want to come in on this?
Chair, I think because we're in difficulties that the Environmental Protection Officer hasn't been properly informed and there hasn't been approval on this yet, is it possible for the Environmental Protection Officer to be told what actual equipment is? Would he know the name of it or the brand, etc., so that he could be reassured that if when he goes to find this particular equipment, that it is the one that will work, you know? Because obviously,
yeah,
at the moment,
I'm just a little bit confused as the sort of communication between the venue and our environmental health team, because you did have a condition on there, Daniel, in the original license, referring to condition 20 on page 106, referring to a sound limiting device. You said that was an old one. John says there wasn't one there before, so I don't know what's going on here. John says he didn't see an old one. Was there one there before, or what's the story?
Well,
I'm happy to take this if you want.
yes, Mr. Whittle can explain more clearly.
Yeah, so we have a venue in Hackney Wick as well, which is our studio that we have also been getting temporary licenses to run occasional events for. So the sound limit we had was a portable one that went with the system. As far as we knew, that was okay. Then when meeting John, he then informed us that it wasn't. So we've since put the system in place so it won't move, as well as install the council approved sound limiter. And to Amanda's point, if you give me like 30 seconds, I'll just pull the receipt up and I can give you the model.
Okay, I'll let you do that.
Sorry, Chair, I don't understand. Are we talking about these premises or talking about the Hackney Wick premises?
We're talking about this one, bread and butter. They're just saying that they used a mobile sound limiter to sort of go between the venue. This is the old one, but the new one will be permanent, and it will be in that premises, basically in bread and butter permanently. It won't be moving around.
Yes.
Councillor Kennedy?
Chair, we've had situations like this before where work has been done but has yet to be verified by the council's sound team, and we've normally, I believe, dealt with it by condition, where we simply say no sound is to be played at the venue until a sound limiting device has been installed, calibrated and agreed to the satisfaction of the council's noise pollution team.
Yeah.
And then John gets down there, or a member of his team gets down there as soon as they can.
Yeah. Ben?
Yeah, so the exact sound limit we have is an Eagle is the brand, and it's the G990.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's move on, because we can cover some of this off in the discussion as well. So I'd like to bring in PC Griggs now, please, for your representation. And thank you, John, for yours, by the way. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye for now.
PC Griggs.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chair. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Good, thank you. As you know, the premises are situated in Rivington Street in the middle of the Shoreditch Triangle, as identified in the cumulative impact assessment as the area with the highest concentration of licensed premises, and now located in the middle of the special policy area of Shoreditch. It is the council's policy to refuse applications where a relevant representation is made to any application within the special policy area, unless the applicant can demonstrate that the proposed activity will not add to the cumulative impact being experienced in these areas. Police stance is that the application does not demonstrate this and as such should be refused. The application has not identified any potential issues associated with later hours and has therefore not proposed any measures to mitigate them. A recent crime study around the Shoreditch area has split the area into hexagons, known locally as Operation Martello. These premises fall into the hexagon that have been prioritised as having the highest number of violent offences as well as the highest number of theft and person offences. Premises have noted in their submission that the venue has not been involved in crime specifically, and police would agree. However, having a greater number of people in the nighttime economy area later into the evening increases the probability of them being involved in some sort of criminal activity, whether that might be as a victim or getting involved in an altercation, especially once fuelled by alcohol. On the 24th of August, at approximately 2:46 hours, police attention was drawn to the venue due to the volume of music emanating from it. Upon arrival, many people were standing and sitting outside the venue, clearly a breach of their Condition 24, which states the number of patrons using the designated smoking area shall not exceed 8 people at any one time. From a rough count, there was approximately 30 people outside, with people also with drinks. The plan for the premises includes a small outside area. However, there was people outside of this area, which would constitute off sales and was therefore not allowed. When spoken to, a male from the venue said they were told that for al fresco, they could have background music as long as people could hold a conversation. I repeat, this is at 2:46 hours, with al fresco dining finishing at midnight. This was far outside these hours. In addition, the venue had not included operating as part of the al fresco dining on this temporary event notice. The 10 started at midnight and was running to 3 AM, so had nothing to do with the al fresco dining project that was going on. Conditions on the current licence also contradict each other. On this occasion, the venue is in breach of Condition 19, stating all doors and windows to be closed when music is playing at above background levels, which this clearly was. Furthermore, Conditions 20 and 21 details about the level of noise to not be at such a level to cause nuisance to any unassociated premises. Police would suggest the volume of music outside would definitely cause this nuisance. And one of these is a condition about the sound limiter that has already been touched upon. I believe the sound limiting condition also says that it should have been approved by the council already, which obviously hasn't. PC Hunwick attended the subcommittee on the 1st of September in relation to a 10 for the 6th and 7th of September, mainly based on that police visit of the 24th of August. Subcommittee counter-noticed that 10 as it felt the licensing objectives would be undermined should it go ahead. I visited the premises on Friday the 5th of September to discuss these issues. I pointed out they needed to control the outside area better, potentially using barriers to give a more defined area for the SIA to monitor, and they needed to address the conflicting conditions and ensure there was no noise leakage from the premises. I did notice on my visit there was decks and speakers in the ground floor front window. These would most definitely add to any noise issues they should have. As previously mentioned, there have been previous noise issues and now instances witnessed by police. There are no additional conditions to mitigate these additional risks associated with operating 8 hours. The acoustic report that was submitted is dated March 2024. There is no substantial updates on how the venue will mitigate the noise complaints already being experienced. There may be a new sound limiter installed, but there is no evidence this has been tested from the acoustic report as it predates it. As such, police maintain their representations and would like to see the premises operate at their current hours without any issue and without causing a disturbance before later hours are considered. Therefore ask this variation is refused.
Okay, thank you, PC Griggs. Do members have anything to ask PC Griggs at all? Points of clarity, or should we move on? Happy to move on. Okay. Excellent. Thank you, PC Griggs, for that. I might come back to you in the discussion phase, probably. Councillor Bajana Thomas?
Sorry, I was trying to get to my hand. Can I just confirm from PC Griggs? Or again, I might not heard you properly. Have you witnessed the noise or the breach? I know you mentioned the breach of was it Condition 19 at these premises?
Colleague of mine
any
has
of
police officers on Hackney nights. Sergeant Ahmed was one that visited say on that 24th of August at 2:46, and he could hear it in his van with the windows done up as he entered Rivington Street, which is why he went down and spoke to them. PC Hunwick, I believe, on nights has also witnessed some issues there as well, and crowds outside.
Yeah.
Thank you. Chair, can I ask the applicant, is this space a private space or highway where people are congregating outside as mentioned in the submission?
Yes, we have a table license to use the front area. So it's a road, but we have a table license for it.
What is the capacity of your chairs and tables license?
It's eight people on our license.
Okay, thank you.
Great, fantastic. Thank you very much. So let's move on now to licensing. So, Mr. Chewett.
Thank you, Chair.
I'm sorry, Chair. Would I be able to ask PC Griggs to confirm one thing, or should I raise that later?
Raise that in the discussion phase, Daniel.
So be it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Chewett?
Thank you, Chair. So I'll keep this brief. My representation is Appendix B3 in today's agenda. So within that, I'll make reference to the special policy area. And I would essentially echo everything PC Griggs said in her submission. We do have concerns about the premises. As you've heard, there have been a number of issues where some allegations of unauthorised activity have been made, and those have been witnessed by police colleagues. The recent one in August, the recent issue in August was also witnessed by officers from Hackney Enforcement Service. So we do, of course, recognise that the premises is located within the cumulative impact area, the Shoreditch Special Policy Area. And as you've heard, the presumption in that area is to refuse applications unless the applicant can demonstrate that they will not add to the cumulative impact. The policy goes on to say that it should be noted that the quality track record of the management, good character of the applicant, and the extent of any variation so may not be in themselves sufficient. And in this particular case, as you've heard, we do have concerns. There are ongoing issues, and it seems to me like just in the past week, a condition which has been attached to the license, it is granted in October, is only just, the suggestion is it has only just been complied with now, and that's obviously linked to the concerns about noise outbreak, that sort of thing. So I would maintain my position also. I think this application should be refused. Potentially the applicant, if they're able to demonstrate a period of time in which they're not brought to the attention of any of the authorities, that may change our position in future. But for now, I do think that this application should be refused.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Chewett, for that. And points of clarity before discussion. Jessica, any other persons on here? Because I think we had one, didn't we? At Appendix C, but I'm not sure if that person's here. I don't think they are.
No, I haven't had a request from them to join the meeting.
Okay, no, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so there's no other persons.
No.
Okay, let's move on to the discussion phase. And do one of the members want to kick this off at all? Don't want to put you on the spot or anything. Councillor Janet Thomas.
Just to ask the applicant, I'm just looking, correct me if I'm wrong, this current license is actually a new license. I mean, what I mean by a new license is it was granted not too long ago. And if we've had issues of noise, of people hanging around, of all breach of license premises, would the applicant say they have been a good operator? Well,
I mean, yeah, so yeah, we definitely have made mistakes, and within the statement we've acknowledged those, hence why we've asked for meetings with PC Griggs, and we've moved quickly to address all of those issues, with the barriers to mean we can hold the the smoking area in with the right amount of people, and then address the sound issues with the correct sound limiter. Yeah, so we definitely made some things, but I think we're working with everything, that all the information that we're getting from the community, from the council, from the police, and moving quickly to address them. Obviously, running a venue isn't always straightforward, and little things do happen, but we have had it for a year and not too many issues have popped up. We acknowledge we have, and then we put in things to mean that we won't have those issues again.
Can I come into that? Thanks, I appreciate that. That running a premises, as you said, is not straightforward. But having said that, we do have as a borough with one of the largest nighttime economy in the UK. We do have many premises that are operating well in our borough. That's why we're proud of happening nighttime economy, regardless of not being straightforward. We are talking about what we can do as licensed committees to put conditions, add conditions on licenses if we're mindful to grant this. But with this condition, is human impact of data is important. There's no amount of noise limiter you put in the premises. If the doors are, if they keep opening the doors, then the limiter is useless. So how are we sure, like what they said previously, that doors were open, noise were coming in, that would not repeat itself? That reassurance.
Yeah, can I come back on that? So just as Amanda also raised, there was in our current license, there's conflicting clauses which have made it confusing for us to run, because it says all doors needed to be closed with the exception of the front door. So the front door of occasion has been left open, which we've now, since, you know, again going back to the 24th month ago, operated with it fully closed. But that was our front door. So we were operating with it open, so there's some spilling over. So now we've made changes, so we're able to close it while still being open, which is obviously reducing the sound massively that's coming out to the street.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Councillor Kennedy?
Thank you. I'd like to hear from Ben and Daniel more about PC Griggs' evidence, and very specifically, and it's in the police representation, they reference LP10, our special policy area, and they point out that you're in Rivington Street, you're in a special policy area, and very specifically we say, and it's in our papers, that within a special policy area we will refuse applications unless the applicant can demonstrate the proposed activity won't add to the cumulative impact being experienced. And PC Griggs' point is that you haven't offered a raft of different conditions to specifically deal with those problems. But when they had attended at that incident on the 24th, it didn't seem like the operation itself was doing anything to mitigate against cumulative impact. And that they felt it, they were so concerned about the premises that they gave evidence at your temporary event notice at the beginning of September that led to us issuing a counter notice. So how, in this application and the way you propose to run, do you propose to demonstrate that these hours beyond our core hours won't add to the cumulative impact? That's my question.
Can I start? First of all, PC Griggs herself indicated that it would be necessary to impose barriers in the outside area to control the outside space. That was her suggestion, and she repeated it just now today. And those barriers have been put in, as Mr. Whittle has confirmed. The other suggestion that PC Griggs made to these premises was the off sales should be limited to end at 2300 hours on weekdays and midnight on Fridays and Saturdays. And we've agreed to that. Mr. Whittle has confirmed that he's happy to comply with that, and as a condition that the off sales should end at 2300 weekdays and midnight on Friday and Saturday. And sorry, I should have mentioned 2230 on Sundays. So that I think there's been an exaggerated picture, if I may say so, of how many incidents there are. I mean, Mr. Whittle has put up his hand that there's the 24th of August, and there have been occasions when I think we've mentioned PC Ahmed attended on the 24th of August, and another incident when PC Hunwick, I think it is, attended. But in the representations, there were only 3 incidents that were actually alluded to. And what I would say is that the real issue here is the noise. That's what people have been complaining about. So in answer to your point, Councillor Kennedy, the noise is remedied by putting in an effective sound limiter. And in demonstrating, as we are required to do, that we are not having any negative cumulative impact, if you put in, the whole point of having a professional report is to indicate, I mean, that report was specifically addressing the issue. And in that report, it set the limits as to what would be compliant. And so what is being proposed to deal with that is, number one, put in a more effective sound limiter than there was before. Instead of having a mobile one, to have a permanent one, and also to set it in accordance with the expert report. So if that is in place, there should not be any additional negative cumulative impact. And the doors issue is one that has already been alluded to by PC Griggs, that there were contradictory conditions. I think it was 19 and 22. That, again, can easily be remedied by ensuring that windows and doors, all doors, are closed. And that can be a condition, and make it clear. So I think that we have put forward proposals to address those points. And I do emphasize that whenever the police and others have attended, they have not raised any issue about disorder. That's significant. Although PC Griggs referred to the number of people and so on, she does not mention anything about any disorder or crime. We've heard that picture of this being in an area with the highest violent crime and theft from persons, but none of that has been found to be taking place at these premises. So it would be totally unfair to count what happens generally elsewhere as a ground for rejecting this application. So I would suggest that the condition that you, Councillor Kennedy, proposed regarding the limiter and what it needs to satisfy the council and the way it's set would address all of those sound issues together with the closing of doors and windows.
Thank you very much, Daniel, for that. Amanda?
Yes, Chair. I think the concern is that there hasn't been a period of testing. The actual equipment hasn't been tested since it's been installed, and that then so there's no certainty about this noise issue being resolved, which has been a concern.
Yep. Daniel, you have provided us at page 76, 77, 78 with a whole raft of conditions, essentially. Amanda, PC Griggs, I can see your hands up just let me just finish this point a second. If we were to grant this, all of those suggested conditions that you've mentioned in page 76, 77, and 78,
Yes.
would those be acceptable for you to put them all into the conditions as you've proposed them?
Yes.
And the last point I just want to clarify as well, in terms of security staff, because security is mentioned in there, but I don't think you've got a condition around SIAs at all in general. Could we think about having some security staff?
Yes, I think Mr. Whittle has said that the security sort of staff would be deployed whenever events have more than 50. But again, that could be varied according to what would satisfy the subcommittee. But this is not a venue that has a massive number of people at the moment. The one next door has something like 200, 300 people. Whereas this is a much, much smaller venue.
What's the maximum capacity then?
I think it's 75.
75. Okay, thank you. Okay, PC Griggs, because PC Griggs was first. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you. It's just a couple of little points to pick up on from what the applicant first said. Just in general, the conditions about having the sound limiter and having the doors closed have been on this licence for a year and have not been being adhered to. The acoustic report is 18 months old and hasn't been being adhered to or looked at or tested or used. Is the police concerned that why are they going to do it in the future from now on? Be our point.
Daniel, do you want to come back and maybe just talk about condition 22, because that's sort of relevant, because they said one of the doors could actually be open.
Yes, I mean, the sound limiters is a simple thing, if I may say so. Either it's in place or it isn't in place. And so, yes, we put our hand up to the fact that it hasn't been in place before, but it is in place now. And that is something which the environmental officer can check. So as Councillor Kennedy previously suggested, if that is a condition, it's either met or it isn't met, but it would be very easy for the environmental officer to confirm one way or the other. So I think that would address PC Griggs's concern. We perfectly accept that prior to this being installed, it was an issue. And the doors closed, as we said, we agreed that the conditions, I think PC Griggs herself accepted, were presently in contradiction. So again, that can be cleared up by having a very clear condition, which ensures that all doors and all windows are shut.
Okay, thank you very much.
Come back on we have had a sound limiter. We've just not, since knowing we've not had the correct one. We've had a sound limiter throughout, and then upon John and Nani's visit, he then informed us it was the wrong kind, which we then acted upon.
Yeah. Councillor Vagina Thomas, we've had 18 minutes on this so far.
One of the questions that I wanted to ask is around the capacity, and if the applicant can tell us exactly what happened when there is event in the venue, and what sort of there is been an allegation of unauthorized activity in the premises, and what that is. I'm still very concerned, just like PC Griggs and the responsible authority from local authority in terms of the management of this premises. This is a license that is under a year old, so it isn't. We have premises that have been operating for 40, 50 years in Hackney without issues. This is a license of a year old, with complaints and all this. So I would want to, from the applicant, the reassurance this is a special policy area, that this would not have any cumulative impact. I have not, both from the solicitor and the applicant chair, have not been reassured.
Yeah, I can come on that. Yeah, so we put, as we sent the pictures in as well, so we've put in barriers now so our security guards and staff can contain our capacity of our smoking area. And then within the meeting with PC Griggs, we further clarified because our door goes directly onto the road, right? But we've now further clarified when they don't become our responsibility anymore, so that will help us more effectively manage, like push away to the right. So we only have the 8 people in the smoking area, and then everything else is completely pushed away. So we just needed that clarity with PC Griggs, and from the meeting and from putting the barriers in, it's not something that could be repeated.
Yeah, it might be.
Sorry,
Adam, sorry.
Can I? Sorry, the solicitor want to come in. I'll let you come. Probably with your comment, what I was going to say is, of course, we want to support licensed premises in our borough to succeed. But out of that is by working with the responsible authority, with the local, with the council, with the police. And what I've heard, it seems the premises have not been able to do that, working with both the local authority and the police that can support. And in fact, the applicant, when we were talking about sound limiter, was saying, oh, John is welcome to come and have a look at it. So it's not John would be welcome to have a look at it. It's part of your operation. When that limiter was installed, is for you to call the environmental services to say, oh, you said we need a sound limiter, now we've installed one, please come and inspect it. So it's not for John to be hearing here tonight that a limiter has been put in place. So again, which is kind of what I'm saying about reassurance of the operations of these premises, Chair.
Yeah. Daniel, do you want to come back?
Yeah, it was the reassurance that Councillor John and Thomas was looking for. Comes from PC Griggs saying that what is needed here are barriers. Those barriers have been put in place. So it's difficult to see how, if the applicant does exactly what PC Griggs has asked for, what more can he do to reassure? He's agreed to PC Griggs's recommendation that the off sales be limited in time. So he's done that. And the sound limiter, which we've had a lot of discussion about, is the other issue. So I can't see what further he can do to reassure you.
Okay, thank you. We've had 22 minutes on the discussion phase. Any further questions at all? On the SIAs, would you consider, because there's not a strict condition about SIAs, but I just think we need a condition around SIAs in there somewhere, if we're minded to grant this. And we haven't even actually sort of talked about the length of time as well, the 3 o'clock versus 2 versus, we haven't even gone there yet, because members might feel that 3 is too long, for example. So you might want to think about offering an alternative to that, to 3 o'clock. Amanda.
Yes, Chair. What I was going to raise is that the applicant's representative said that they have been following the PC Griggs's advice. So then, has she approved these barriers? Have the barriers been approved by the police? And the works that have been carried out, have they been approved, even if the environmental protection officer hasn't been? Thank you.
PC Griggs.
Apologies. Right. Yes. Thank you, Chair. Just a quick one. I didn't say specifically they need to have barriers. I said they need control their outside area better, and be able to define who were their customers and who wasn't. So barriers are the obvious way to obviously demarcate their area outside. Some of it is already obvious because they've got planters across a couple of sides of it. It's about controlling the outside space. And barriers is one way of doing it, and we discussed where would be the appropriate places to put them. Ultimately, that's down to the venue. It's not up to me to tell them exactly what to do with them and how to put them and what to do with it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. I think we'll move off the discussion phase now. Just Daniel, just have a think about the hours as well, whilst we're for your closing remarks is what I mean. And we'll move to closing remarks now. So let's take PC Griggs first. Councillor Janet Thomas. Sorry, 1 second, PC Griggs.
Sorry, before the closing remarks from you just mentioned the hours, and I noticed actually on Saturday it was a 3:30. Is that correct? Or Saturday 3:30, or am I?
It's 3 a.m.
It was 3.
3.
Are you talking about the 10 that was in operation on the?
That's right. Supply of alcohol. I'm looking at this. Is okay. So it's Friday 3 o'clock, Saturday 3 o'clock, and one on there. In terms of that, chair, I will be asking, putting it to the applicant that those Friday and Saturday, if we're minded to grant this application, would they consider the 1:30 on Friday, on Friday and Saturday, and midnight on Wednesday, from midnight Wednesday and Thursday?
Okay, you can just think about that. Maybe you want to consult each other. I don't know, Daniel, if you want to, because I think you're in separate spaces.
Yes, it would be helpful to be able to do that. Shall I just?
Do you need a couple of minutes? We could just.
Yes. Could you give us those couple of minutes?
Well, let's just have a quick comfort break then, folks, for 2 minutes.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Okay, we'll see you in 2 minutes. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, that's 2 minutes. That's given them long enough. I'll just give them a few more seconds. Thank you for your patience, everyone. I'll be back soon. So, what's the verdict? What's the verdict, Daniel?
Yes, the verdict is that Mr. Whittle is willing to comply with if the committee felt that a shorter hour extension than one that's been applied for was in order.
Okay.
But can I just say, what we're discussing is that he's keen to do that to show that he's if there's a period in which he can build up trust.
Yeah.
Because that seems to be something that's been raised. Would it then be limited to a particular period?
No, I mean, basically, you could go, no, you could just come back when you feel it's appropriate to reapply again for a variation. But I would say, 6 months to a year at least.
Yes.
Just to give the authorities a chance to find out how things are working.
Yes. So be it.
Great. Excellent. Okay, thank you very much. Now, where were we? I've kind of forgotten. We were doing closing remarks, weren't we?
Yes.
And PC Griggs was just about to start, weren't you, PC Griggs? Sorry about that. So bearing in mind what you've just heard about the reduction in hours as well, plus all of the conditions that they've offered up on pages 76, 77, and 78 of the supplementary document, and there's a lot there, actually. PC Griggs, on reflection, closing remarks, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I think our concerns still remain. They are slightly more comforted with reduction in hours. That is slightly better, but I'd have to stick to what we've said previously. In that at the moment they've had the licence for about coming up to a year, and have failed to adhere to the conditions they've currently got, and are still having issues. So that operating without issues would be a vast improvement. We need a period of that. If obviously you're not wanting to grant, Chair, then the reduction in hours is welcomed, but we would still have concerns at this time.
Okay, thank you very much, PC Griggs, for that. And let's move on to licensing. I think is John still on the call? Is he gone? The environmental health chap, was he gone?
He's left, Chair.
Oh, he's left. Okay. So over to you, Mr. Stewart.
Again, to echo PC Griggs, I'm not going to change position on this. I still think the application should be refused. I acknowledge that the hours being sought have been reduced, but I do feel that the just the issues and concerns that we've had over the past year or so since the license was granted just means it's not possible to get this variation.
Okay, thank you very much. And then finally over to you, Daniel, for your summing up. You've got 5 minutes if you need it.
Right. I don't think I'll take up that amount of time, but I'm just disappointed that both PC Griggs and Mr. Churt are not willing to change their position. it seems that they came with their position that they're going to object, and nothing that they've heard is going to move them, even though PC Griggs again started off with the barriers, saying she wasn't suggesting barriers, and then in the same breath said, yes, that would be a good way, one way of dealing with the control. So, either she is proposing that barriers would be a good way of controlling, or she's not. But to just simply say, whatever you do, we're still going to have concerns, means that she's not really making proposals that are going to make a difference. But what I would say is I'd urge the subcommittee to grant this application with the conditions that have been offered, which in my submission meet the objections that have been raised. The concerns about sound and so on, which Mr. Chewett and PC Griggs and others have raised, have been because of the absence of the right sound limiting device. If that is in place and that is a condition, then that should deal with that issue. The barriers which PC Griggs has proposed, yes, those can be a similar condition. I said the off sales is another proposal that PC Griggs put to the applicant, and he's agreed to that. And if in response to Councillor Vajana Thomas that you were minded to not grant the full extension that's been sought, then again, the applicant accepts that might be a way in which he can demonstrate that he can operate these premises in accordance with that and build up trust over a period. The reason why he sought the hours that he did was to match the fact that the next door premises have got a license till 3 o'clock and have a much greater capacity. But the complaints or issues that have been raised, I do emphasize again, and anything to do with disorder and crime is not down to these premises. And I ask you that nobody has produced any evidence at all to suggest that it is. But it's all about noise, and we accept that. It's all about noise, but the noise can be addressed by the limiter. I don't think I can really add to that, sir. And I just really urge you to consider a grant subject to whatever conditions the committee think appropriate.
Okay, thank you very much, Daniel, for that. Apologies, a little bit of background noise going on here, but I'll finish in a minute. Okay, I think we're done for this agenda item. So thank you, everyone, for your contributions. You will get a skeleton decision within 5 working days. Daniel and Ben, best of luck with it. Yeah, so great. Thank you very much. And we'll move on to the next agenda item, which is agenda item 8 is temporary event notices, and there are no 10s to consider today. So Daniel and Ben, you can now leave the call. That'd be great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good evening. Bye.
Chair, I'm just going to try and contact the legal rep for the next item whilst you read out the details. Because you have to read out something now, don't you?
Yep, that's right.
Thank you.
PC Griggs, nice to see you.
Yeah, I'm going to stay to assist PC Worrell with the next item. I just need to hop on to a different device because my iPad is about to die. So I will be back with you very shortly.
Okay, thank you very much.
And Chair, if you're fine for me to stay on just to observe, my camera will be switched off.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you very much. Mr. Dad, you happy with that?
No objections at all.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so this is
but it is noteworthy that if there's obviously if it's a part 2 item that obviously mustn't be discussed outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was just going to say a week check on Jessica. Is the live streaming off now?
Yeah, we're gonna get to that now.
Just yet, briefing where we need to just disclose that we are going to go into an exempt session. So we just need to read out that
Yeah,
part of the briefing.
I'll just do that now. Everyone's jumping ahead. Okay, so agenda item 9, urgent decision, expedited review, Samia 66 to 68 Great Eastern Street, London, EC2A 3QR. So I'm going to propose the following motion. On the advice of the legal officer and with the agreement of the monitoring officer and the speaker, can we agree that the press and public be excluded from the meeting during the consideration of agenda item 5, agenda item 9, due to the disclosure exempt information as defined under paragraph 7, part 1, schedule 12A(H) of the Local Government Act 1972. Once agreed, the live stream will end, but the recording will continue. The meeting will progress in closed session. So is everyone happy with that?
So we just need to wait for confirmation that the live streaming has stopped. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. If we're all in agreement, I've dropped a message to Sharmina just to get that live stream taken